Hi there guys, so Andy Ruiz Jr. has made his excuses why he lost to Anthony Joshua. He partied too hard and he didn't train and prepare properly for this fight. He did not take Anthony Joshua seriously and he thought that Anthony Joshua was a light touch. He thought that he could do exactly what he done last time. Now obviously these are his excuses. They are not necessarily true because I believe that Anthony Joshua was just better on the night. I don't see how these excuses are valid. Andy Ruiz Jr. said he trained himself for most parts, and he came in overweight. He was partying for 3 months after beating Anthony Joshua, and that led to his downfall in the fight. Now this is just absolute rubbish. Andy Ruiz Jr. was the same fighter on December 7th as he was on June 1st. He can have no excuses. He got outboxed, he got battered, he got beaten by the better man. And all of those things he said about Anthony Joshua, the robot, the guy who can't box, the guy who just runs around, all of that came back to bite him in the ass because ultimately, he just got beaten up and beaten by the better man, Anthony Joshua, because Joshua was boxing well, keeping behind his jab, hitting him hard and often, doing everything that he needed to do to win. So ultimately, Anthony Joshua was the better man on the night, and obviously last time it proves that Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz Jr., rushed in for the finish just too early, and that is what created the opportunity for Andy Ruiz Jr. It was just one punch that changed the course of the fight. They say in the heavyweight division, all it takes is one punch, and that is what happened on June 1st. You want the proof? Just look at the difference between the two fights. Anthony Joshua was outboxing Andy Ruiz Jr. in the first fight, and then caught him, knocked him down, rushed in for the finish, and got caught himself. This time, he didn't fall into the same trap. He didn't allow Andy Ruiz Jr. the opportunity to land those punches. He didn't allow him the opportunity to close the distance and get on the inside. That is what was the difference between this fight and the last one. Anthony Joshua proves he belongs at the top of the heavyweight division. Andy Ruiz Jr. was outclassed and outboxed by Anthony Joshua, and ultimately the better man won on the night. Anthony Joshua completely outboxed him, beat him up, cut him. I said in the final video before the fight, Anthony Joshua will cut Andy Ruiz Jr. He will hit him hard and often, jab to the head and to the body, and just outclass him. Anthony Joshua is a better boxer than Andy Ruiz Jr. gave him credit for. Because at times I thought Anthony Joshua was getting a bit involved. At times I thought he was going to start trading with Andy Ruiz Jr., which was a big mistake because Andy Ruiz Jr. needs him to do that. He tried to get Anthony Joshua emotionally involved, and Joshua nearly did. He nearly bit, but I think Rob McCracken done a great job in the corner of keeping Anthony Joshua on the straight and narrow, which he needed to win this fight. Now obviously engaging with Andy Ruiz Jr. is Andy Ruiz Jr.'s game. We all knew that Anthony Joshua had to box him, and that is what he done. He's shown a great maturity in that boxing ring. Done things we've never really seen him do before in the pro game, because obviously when the knockouts come, fighters will often neglect certain parts of their game, and obviously Anthony Joshua has been knocking out opponents. But there comes a time in every single puncher's career when they find someone who can take their power. Even Deontay Wilder found that in Tyson Fury, and that's when you have to rely on your general boxing skills. And Anthony Joshua shown his general boxing skills and ring craft last night by beating Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz Jr. came up with some bizarre excuses. He trained himself, or he was too big. He said he wasn't really that much heavier, it was just his food that he ate and water. That was the 10 pounds that he gained, even though he gained 15 pounds. He tried to make the excuse. I mean, I don't think Andy Ruiz Jr. really knew what to do with Anthony Joshua. He was out of his element in that fight. He just got outboxed and outclassed. He wants number 3, but ultimately, there's mandatories to be called. Number 3 will happen, because I think Anthony Joshua will make it happen, but ultimately, I think Andy Ruiz Jr. is out of the picture at the moment. He's just been beaten over 12 rounds and very conclusively. He hardly landed a punch. In my opinion, you could give him 1 round, maybe 2 at a push. So he got completely outclassed by Anthony Joshua. So he doesn't really warrant a rematch at this stage. But anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this fight? Anthony Joshua, 2-time heavyweight world champion. He's proved all of the doubters wrong, and he is now moving on to a bigger fight. Kubrat Pulev, maybe even Alexander Usyk, because obviously the WBO mandatory has now been called. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.